Welcome to the Art of Reality series with CC Elian. This topic is entitled Positively Negative. The worldwide quest for recognition as to the status of women on par with that of men is fundamentally a quest for valuation, for women's value to be equal to that of men's, regardless of what they do and in what context. And yet, the most ardent supporter of this quest might well be contributing to the downgrading and devaluation of female energies, and do so on a daily basis without realizing it. We do so through language in the use of the words positive and negative to describe, respectively, favorable and unfavorable things. And yet all female statuses in English-speaking countries would rapidly improve if we each stopped using these two words in this way. They would improve if we started using them only for shapes, as in the negative outlet and the positive plug, but not to express qualities that are either upbeat, as with the word positive, or downbeat with negative. The way it is now, positive has a quote-unquote good association to it, and the word negative has a quote-unquote bad one. And you can recognize this for yourself. As I'm speaking, when the word negative appears, you might well have a sense of a downward dip of energy, and when you hear the word positive, you have an upward emotional lift. That was certainly my experience when I started looking into this area, but thankfully I no longer feel that way. This unfavorable association with the word negative can't help but downgrade all structurally negative elements in our society, which namely is all things with female energies, such as yours truly. And it also includes the inner world of both males and females, since these are receptive spaces that exist in both genders. The counterpart valuation of the positive as an automatically good thing also shines its light onto all positive elements in our society, namely all male energies, regardless of their effect. And that's why, as a society, it's far easier to value the male energies of competition, aggression, and blind ambition, rather than the female ones of understanding, collaboration, and contemplation. It's a genuine and fresh form of linguistic patriarchy to which we may contribute unwittingly. When we think about it, the universal negative female principle of the receptive is clearly one of two essential and complementary structures that are the basis of all of life's processes. The negative is the empty female shape that receives the positive form of its complementary male. And these are principles, and they're very broad and sweeping and all-encompassing. The universal role of both of these shapes is well recognized, as you know, in Eastern philosophies as yang for male and yin for female. And when you look at their definition, each reflects the equal and inseparable role of the other. Yin is defined very simply as the universal complementary principle to yang, and yang then as the complementary principle to yin. The qualities, and I emphasize qualities, associated with yin are passive, dark, cold, inner, negative, and female, while the qualities associated with yang are active, light, hot, outward, positive, and male. These are complementary and mutually beneficial in the right ratios one to the other. When we have a fever which is hot and yang, well, we clearly want to cool it down with the yin energy. And there are many such examples of how the balance of each is necessary for the well-being of the other. You're probably familiar with the Taoist example of how the emptiness of the cup allows the solidity of its contents to enter. And it's, of course, the opening in the door that allows the solid being to pass through. In popular use, however, the English language makes no such equality between the values of positive and negative principles. Even though the dictionary records their structural use, and even though these uses are recognized in the sciences for electricity, the positive charge, negative charge, and in physics, of course, in medicine, positive results versus negative results. Sometimes that's what we want, the negative results. And yet, Webster's dictionary, when it comes to giving synonyms related to either negative or to positive, it clearly shows the conventional use of these terms to describe qualities of being rather than describing forms of structures. And I quote, the synonyms related to negative are, quote, adversarial, adversary, antagonistic, antipathetic, inhospitable, inimical, jaundiced, mortal, hostile, unfriendly, unsympathetic. And it is this list that is unsympathetic clearly to the negative structure. And to contrast with positive, its synonyms are, quote, admiring, applauding, appreciative, approbatory, approving, commendatory, complementary, friendly, good, favorable. Very apple shining. But you can't blame them, they, the dictionary people, because we've been trained into this reflex of evaluation and we don't even question it. But now, one individual at a time, we can change our usage of these words and stop contributing to this social favoritism for all male energies at the significant expense of all female ones. We can clearly recognize that negative and positive forms are so basic to our lives that they have neither a beneficial nor a malevolent aspect to them. They are really neutral. So, instead of using the word negative as we might have maybe just moments ago to describe something we find unpleasant, let's come up with another descriptive term, and one that I assure you will be more on point and will connect us more to our feelings in describing what it is we are about to describe in an unfavorable light. So instead of using the word negative to describe someone, we could say they're discouraged, pessimistic, dour, dampened, indifferent, absent, neglectful, you name it. And of course, we have a whole range of words for someone who's being or was formerly described as positive, and that could be encouraging, optimistic, constructive, upbeat, present, active, and so on. We can even make up words. Contrary to its popular image, a dictionary records, it does not dictate. And so the more we use positive and negative as structural terms, the less likely the dictionary will record their synonyms in this biased way. Our negative spaces are one of our most valuable resources. It's the space of our thoughts and our feelings, of our ideals, which equality is, and of our dreams. And as females, that is to be treated as people of equal value with anyone else, regardless of their gender. Women are just as capable as men of physical engagement into positive action, and men are equally able and certainly well served to engage in their negative spaces. All humans have a combination of negative and positive structures. We can do a great deal towards equalizing their roles as mutually dependent principles once we stop using positive or negative in any other way, but as descriptions of form and not as descriptions of human values. You have been listening to Positively Negative with C.C. Elian. Thank you for having participated by using the negative spaces of your ears to hear the positive form of my words.